宗门一定要连接起来。法脉就是精神，藏观、重创。把它串起来，和气、和爱、协力贯穿起来呢，这是一个核心。这一个核心呢，莫忘要回归到了精神源头。
In January 2019, a Tzu Chi clinic in Doliu, central Taiwan, became a hospital. Set up 15 years ago, the clinic had provided nearly 3 million medical consultations to the locals. As Tzu Chi's 7th hospital in Taiwan, Doliu Tzu Chi Hospital will continue to safeguard the health of people in the area. In February, Tzu Chi members from Taiwan and Malaysia went to Myanmar to give out rice seeds to over 43,000 farmers affected by flooding back in 2018. With the help of an online database management system, it only takes the farmers 1 minute to have their identities confirmed. To repay, the farmers save up rice to help the needy. In March, Qinghai, China was hit by snowstorms, affecting hundreds of thousands of people and 1 million livestock. Tzu Chi volunteers quickly prepared aid supplies for those affected. Undaunted by the blizzard, Tzu Chi volunteers drove up a mountain range over 4,000 meters above sea level and had a simple lunch by the roadside so they could deliver the aid supplies to locals in time.
When
Qinghai was hit by heavy snow in 1995, Tzu Chi also went to help. This time, a man brought Tzu Chi's aid notice from 1996 to the distribution site.
今天他是故意过来的时候，本来是委托儿子可以领，但是这个纪念品在他手里，拿着这个东西过来说，亲自验证一下当年和现在的。
我把这些你们的那些瓷器馆，我一直保存，我们这个千万忘不得。师傅，你在安庆我一直忘不下。1996年我们学菜的时候，你救了一个，名字叫阿拉，今年70岁了。今年你看就这么个我们学菜里面，救了我们这么多的困难的时候给了，我一直忘不下。谢谢你，谢谢你，我一直忘不下，谢谢你，谢谢你。
你跟师傅说的话，师傅都会听到哦。
For 23 years, many locals have kept Tzu Chi's aid notice and never forgotten Tzu Chi's timely aid to their families. In March, Cyclone Idai devastated Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Mozambique in Africa. Learning about the disaster, Dharma Master Zheng Yan was very concerned.
目睭背金看到人间啦，目睭刻落来就是看到地界，受灾的人苦啊，急太着，有人通好帮助因，生命有法度延续落去无？
A cholera outbreak was imminent. Everyone in the disaster areas took vaccines, including Tzu Chi members. In Malawi, Tzu Chi paid Idai survivors to rebuild their homes. In Zimbabwe, Tzu Chi volunteers traveled on muddy paths and spent the night by the roadside just to bring aid to people in areas worst hit by Idai. To distribute aid in the rain, the volunteers turned plastic bags into ponchos and cardboard boxes into pavement. They also encouraged the locals to give. In Mozambique, after Cyclone Idai caused widespread flooding, local children dried their soaked books under the sun.
Met a young lady called Zinha who took our books to dry.
To help those affected, Tzu Chi quickly gave out aid supplies.
急需的食品让他们能够生存。第二个，他们急需的是一些建材，让他们能够回去赶快耕作，因为现在旱季已经快到了。
To help more people affected by Idai in Mozambique, 18 of Tzu Chi's local volunteers decided to relocate to another disaster area over 1,200 kilometers away from home.
Eu vou ensinar os meus irmãos sobre bambu.
Eu vou registrar tudo que for falado nas reuniões, todas as histórias das famílias e tudo que for falado aqui no terreno.
Em todas as reuniões eu vou palestrar. Eu estou aqui para semear a semente do loto. Eu vou dar continuidade com o ensinamento da fundação e inspirar o amor que as pessoas tenham fé em si mesmas. Tzu Chi! Go, 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 go!
In April, Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa set foot in Zambia, making it the 9th country Tzu Chi helps in Africa. Apart from visiting local government officials, they also bring love and care to those in need. Including Zambia, Tzu Chi has now brought aid to 100 countries and regions around the world. In April, Tzu Chi members worldwide held bowing pilgrimages as a way to observe the 53rd anniversary of Tzu Chi. In May, to honor Buddha Day, Mother's Day, and Tzu Chi Day, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan held Buddha Day ceremonies across the island, including Hualien. Taipei,
庄严盛大的一个法会，现在只有自己
结合更多的善念。
彰化
问讯礼
and Daja. The Buddha Day ceremonies were also held in other parts of the world, including Malaysia, Singapore, Haiti,
parce que moi-même, m'espère quand même, ça m'a fait, pas fait l'envers.
the Philippines, and Mozambique. In June, a movie on Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan was released. In 2018, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan served a total of over 18 million volunteer shifts to help those in need. The hours of their services could be translated to $380 million in terms of manpower cost. In July, a church Tzu Chi helped rebuild in Ecuador was inaugurated.
La sabiduría del budismo, que también evidentemente ayuda a crecer al ser humano, lo recibimos nosotros.
Be it the earthquake in 2016 or the flooding in 2017, Tzu Chi volunteers were there to help.
Aparte de la obra material, un gran ejemplo, una gran lección que nos deja la Fundación Tzu Chi de que juntos, de que unidos podemos lograr mucho.
Un agradecimiento grande, grande a la Fundación Tzu Chi y en especial al corazón de la maestra
In July, Tzu Chi held large-scale free clinics in Jordan.
像他们需要的就是爱跟温暖。
الله يطول في عمركم ويجزيكم الخير.
دكتور هادي كثير هادي كثير مراقب. نحن بنقول له بالعربية روحه طويلة. روحه طويلة.
As the temperature reached 40 degrees Celsius, Tzu Chi volunteers used cardboard to fan the doctors.
الفريق تبع تزو تشي يعني ما قصروا نفس الناس صاروا يمسكوا ألواح ويساعدونا أيضا زي المراوح. استخدموا الألواح والكراتين للتبريد علينا كأنها مراوح يعني.
The baby was born with 6 fingers on each hand. As she is only 3 months old, the medical team set aside a special time and paid close attention to every detail when performing surgery to remove her extra fingers. Affirmed by the Jordanian government for its contribution to the country, in 2019, Tzu Chi was allowed to register as an INGO in Jordan. In July, in the wake of floods triggered by torrential rain in Fujian, China, Tzu Chi volunteers brought aid and care to those affected.
水来的时候会不会怕？
赶紧先把这个吃了。
都来帮忙，没事。
3 months later, Tzu Chi broke ground to build houses for the flood victims.
在我心最困难、最需帮助的时候，慈济慈善事业基金会及时送上温暖。
这次有新房子住，高兴吗？
Touched by Tzu Chi, many locals were inspired to give.
我也有这个心啊，像我们也一样，有能力帮助大家。
In August, Tzu Chi held a concert to observe the 10th anniversary of Typhoon Morakot. In 2009, Typhoon Morakot wrought havoc in southern Taiwan. An entire town was buried by a landslide. Tzu Chi volunteers quickly poured into southern Taiwan and even transported heavy machinery down south to help clean up the disaster areas. At the same time, Tzu Chi also began to build permanent houses for Morakot survivors. In just 88 days, the first batch of over 700 houses was completed. In September, Tzu Chi held concerts to observe the 20th anniversary of the 9/21 earthquake. On September 21, 1999, a major earthquake struck Taiwan.
昨一天，心都拢总是空空 讲什么话都无法度表达。
In the immediate aftermath, Tzu Chi volunteers from across the island rushed to the disaster areas to carry out relief, providing food, water, and many other supplies. Free clinics were also held for disaster survivors. After the earthquake, Tzu Chi also helped to rebuild 51 schools.
小朋友好。
希望工程给我们带来了绝望中的一丝希望。
真的感谢各位，你们的心跟力是更是无限的。
我是希望工程第一届毕业生蔡丰任。
带着全班各个同学写的感谢卡片去台上献给上人，当下是非常紧张的。然后上人就举起他的手放在我的胸口，说不要紧张，非常的安心，有一种坚定的感觉。我下个礼拜要结婚了。
In September, Tzu Chi's mission of education celebrated its 30th anniversary. A Tzu Chi University alumnus also came to express his gratitude.
从国中、高中到大学医学系毕业，我很感谢慈济这12年里面教会了我一件最重要的事。慈济教会了我这份助人的心。
In 2019, Tzu Chi University was ranked 67th worldwide, 10th in Asia, and top in Taiwan in Global University Impact Ranking. Dr. Yang Subiao is the first principal of the first school Tzu Chi founded in 1989. At 100 years old, Dr. Yang still dedicates himself to medical education. In October, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia took to the streets to inspire goodness in people by encouraging everyone to give and pray for world peace.
Tzu Chi effort to organize this once a year to practice a caring, sharing attitude.
Treating everyone equal as humans. Bravo, Tzu Chi, for your great effort.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia not only care for the locals, but also refugees.
This is a friend, this one is a friend. See? Your world become bigger.
Apart from charity work, they also carry out Tzu Chi's missions of medicine and education across Malaysia. In October, construction of the Tzu Chi International School in Kuala Lumpur was completed, which will provide education from preschool to pre-college program. In Thailand, Tzu Chi provides free medical services to refugees every month. At the site of the free clinic, vocational training is also available.
दुआ की कि खुदावंदा इस क्लिनिक नूं और ज़्यादा बरकत दे जिस तरह कि मैं मजबूरी च सा इस तरह कुछ और लोग जिहड़े बहुत इस टाइम मजबूरी च उन्हां दी मदद कर सकन.
In Turkey, Tzu Chi has been giving out cash cards to Syrian refugees monthly since 2014. Inspired by Tzu Chi's love, many gave back by serving as a volunteer. In October 2019, 18 of them were recognized for 5 years of volunteer service.
بصراحة نحن في هذه المدرسة تعلمنا العطاء والآن بعدما أن تخرجنا وصرنا طلاب جامعيين أتى وقت أن نعطي ولهذا أنا هنا الآن.
In 2017, the new school building Tzu Chi rented for Syrian children in Istanbul opened.
كما نرى اليوم طلاب ومعلمو مدرسة المناهل فرع اسطنبول لقد أتوا اليوم لمساعدة إخوانهم في الدول الثلاثة الإفريقية المتضررة من أثر الإعصار.
With what they've been through, these children are even more able to feel for the suffering of others.
لو بنضل بدون أكل وشرب، لو كان نعيش بدون أكل وشرب لازم نتبرع على الفقراء والناس. زيت كأنه إخواتي.
In October, the president of Indonesia visited a housing community Tzu Chi built for quake survivors.
Swasta semuanya bisa bergerak bersama-sama dalam membantu apabila terjadi bencana. Ini sebuah kerjasama yang baik.
Tanggapan Bapak Presiden sangat puas sekali bahwa untuk bangunannya ini.
Back in 2018, Indonesia was hit by 2 major earthquakes in one day. In 2019, Tzu Chi broke ground for the construction of permanent houses for the quake survivors. 6 months later, Tzu Chi and the Indonesian military renewed their memorandum to help disaster survivors.
Sangat profesional karena Buddha Tzu Chi mampu untuk memberikan yang terbaik untuk masyarakat. Salah satu contoh adalah
In October, the Tzu Chi Center in New York opened.
因缘不可思议，今天我们都共襄盛举。
It is overall a very uplifting, sacred story of how the organization was founded and has continued to grow around the world.
In 2019, Tzu Chi USA turned 30 years old.
The whole purpose of Buddhism, as I understand it, is to alleviate suffering.
Tzu Chi USA's areas of support cover the entire Americas. Take Mexico, for example. After 2 major earthquakes devastated Mexico in 2017, Tzu Chi has been going back regularly to hold free clinics for quake survivors.
Tomo pastillas y pastillas, toda la vida estoy con el dolor y el dolor, el dolor, el dolor. No, ahorita ya me siento pues mucho adelante. Ahorita me voy a ir al baile. I will come definitely.
Apart from holding free clinics, Tzu Chi is now rebuilding a Catholic school damaged by the quakes.
Muy buenos días, tengan todos los presentes. El Instituto Morelos les da la más cordial bienvenida a esta su casa. En nuestro corazón solo hay sentimientos de agradecimiento para con ustedes.
A lot of people around the whole world, they put their love together. Tzu Chi, which means compassion and relief in Mandarin Chinese.
In Haiti, Tzu Chi USA is still providing support to the people affected by a major earthquake in 2010.
C'est lui-même qui permet nous capables à recevoir du riz aujourd'hui.
Il faut remercier Master Chen Yang à cause de sa compassion et de son amour pour les déshérités, pour les plus pauvres.
Aider-nous en pile, qui aider-nous vivre, qui aider-nous comprendre, qui aider-nous vivre à monde. Mais comme ça, il ne va pas venir seul pour nous dire, il vient aider nous tout vivre de l'autre façon.
In November, Tzu Chi Philippines celebrated its 25th anniversary.
来参加这个草山，对我真的很庄严哈，看得很感动。
At the same time, the volunteers were also conducting aid distributions on the island of Mindanao, which was hit by 3 earthquakes in October.
We are very happy for all the help coming in from the national agencies, from the international organization like the Tzu Chi Foundation.
In November, Tzu Chi held a large-scale free clinic in Cambodia. Tzu Chi first brought aid to Cambodia in 1994.
最虔诚的心来祝福各位。
For 25 years, Tzu Chi has been providing continued support to the country.
当年这一区发放那个副县长，他知道他认识吗？
叫马牛。
真的假的？
他说他是他妈妈。
真的有很像哎。
Time passes, but memories remain.
"借由名誉博士的颁证呢，让学生知道人间佛教的道理。
上人以他的一生，以他的实践，不畏艰难，无私奉献，致力于和平。透过和平，确保人类生存，正是我们人文学门最根本的终极目标。坚定到心里宏远，爱洒苍生进心里。
不方块感基础，这是我们本分是。
他们的苦等于我们的苦。
สวัสดีครับ วันนี้พวกเรามาเดินรณรงค์เพื่อขอรับบริจาคช่วยเหลือผู้ประสบภัยจากพายุอีที่พัดถล่มทวีปแอฟริกาครับ
要存钱给风灾的人。
Most important the heart.
Tengo que desprenderme de eso para darle a otra persona.
East Africa.
Okay, represent this too.
要给时态救人。
救人的。
那里面很重，有很多钱。
知道很重。
我是跟师太顶礼完之后呢，问询问完之后，投钱投完钱之后，吃完早餐我就去做环保。
感恩你哦，
感恩师太。